Welcome to the Calissa Primary School compost heap. It's very exciting. The weather has warmed up, so we know about energy systems. When things get warmer, they become more alive. So warmer weather, your compost will become more alive. And if we look in here, look how alive it has become. If I just turn, look at all that life, all that wonderful life. And even, quite often people will say, oh, you can't put this, that and the other in the compost. Well, you can put onions in. Look at those worms, are having a jolly time with the onions there. All sorts of things. So yes, spring is a great time for everything to start moving and living. So we get more plant growth, which equals more insect life, which equals more general life, more bird life, So we can see that this planet is interconnected and everything in nature works together. And I think we need to learn a few more lessons from Mother Nature like that. So at the moment, I'm going to be moving all this lovely compost onto our garden bed so that over spring and summer and even into autumn, this can feed and hold on to a bit more moisture and keep our garden healthier and happier. All right.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Calista Quarantine Kitchen. Nice to see you again this week. This week we are cooking another Japanese recipe. As you guys know, I am a big fan of Japanese, but I'm actually trying something tonight for the first time and cooking an old favourite at the same time. So remember to always cook with adult supervision, and tonight we're going to start with potato salad. So Japanese love potato salad. They serve it as a side dish in izakayas, and it's always delicious. They often will put mentaiko in it, which is a type of caviar, which we are not having tonight. We are just using potatoes, eggs, spring onions, edamame, which are available right next to the peas in the frozen section of the supermarket, and some wasabi and mayonnaise. An egg. Did I say egg? Anyway, so I'm not going to do anything to the potatoes. The potatoes are going straight into the water, and I'm going to boil them for about 20 minutes until they become quite soft, but not really super soft. So this is a really easy dish. It's yummy, and I'm making quite a lot here because it's great for leftovers. So I've put 10 potatoes in there, and I'm going to put that on to boil. I am also going to cook 6 eggs. These are Julie Conda's lovely eggs. Now I have an egg that's floating, which, as you guys will know, means that it's not usable, sadly. Okay, so I'm going to put these on and hard boil them. So once the water starts boiling, I usually do about 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, while that is cooking, we're going to marinate our chicken. We just only need to marinate it for about 20 minutes. So I've already diced the chicken up. There's a kilo of chicken here. So the marinade is really very simple. Cooking sake and garlic cloves. So 6 tablespoons of cooking sake. – 1 I'm just going to peel the garlic and press it through the garlic press. If you don't have a garlic press, you can just finely cut it. It's not a big deal. So I finished peeling the garlic. It was a little bit difficult. And now I'm going to push this through the garlic press, except my cloves are quite big. So it smells good. Oh, bit of skin. Okay. Now I'm just going to stir that through. And add some salt and pepper, and then I'm going to put it aside, and that is marinating. So this chicken dish that I'm making is from my favourite Japanese cookbook, Sachi's Kitchen. This one. It's really simple and really tasty recipes. She's actually a cooking teacher in New Zealand. She's Japanese, but she lives in New Zealand. Alright, so that can sit and marinate. Now, edamame. These only need to be put into boiling water for literally like a minute or a minute and a half. So I have some water boiling. I'm just going to pop them in. After a minute, I'm going to scoop them out, and they're going to go into our potato salad. So I've cooked the edamame. I should have said before, but I forgot, that the edamame are actually shelled. So quite often in the supermarket you will get salted shelled edamame. This one is generally called edamame salad, and it means that they've been popped out of the shell already. So that's ready for the potato salad. And now we just have to wait for the eggs to cook and the potatoes to cook. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so our chicken has been marinating now for long enough. Sorry, there's a bit of steam coming off my eggs. I've taken the eggs out, they're peeled and ready to go when the potatoes are ready. So you want to preserve the marinade of this, but you want to cook the chicken without the marinade. So I'm just going to pop it through a strainer so I can save the sauce. And then if you would like to meet me over at the stove, we will cook the chicken off. I've got the pan on a hot flame and I've added some rice bran oil, and it's quite warm and ready to go. So now I'm going to add my chicken, and I'm just going to brown the chicken off until it is kind of cooked on the outside. The smell of the garlic is very strong. So I'll just keep browning this until I can't see any pink. Now my chicken's browned. Well, it's not really brown, but it's not as pink. I'm going to tip the rest of the marinade in with the chicken, and I'm going to pop a lid on it and let it bubble away for about 3 minutes. The chicken's been cooking with the lid on for 3 minutes, and as you can see, it's kind of bubbling and smells amazing. So now I'm going to take the lid off and I'm going to stir through 4 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce and 4 tablespoons of tomato ketchup or tomato sauce. So these are actually quite traditional flavours. If you've had okonomiyaki before, Worcestershire is the main sauce in the okonomiyaki sauce. So just stir it through. And then you want to keep cooking this down until it actually starts to caramelise a little bit. So I'm going to let that sit and I'll stir it every couple of minutes, but I'm actually going to take my potatoes off now and drain them so I can make the potato salad, and I'll let that go for a little bit by itself. Our potatoes are cooked. They've kind of popped out of their jackets a little bit, but as you can see, they're soft, but they still have their integrity. Alright, so I'm going to stick them into the bowl, and with a potato masher, I'm going to mash them up. But I'm only going to do a very rustic job. I don't really want it completely broken up. Just kind of into smaller bits, and that you don't really want to go beyond that. So try and get all the potato out. Then I'm going to pop my eggs in that we boiled, and again, just with a fork, I'm going to mush them up, but I don't really want to break them up into too smaller pieces. You want this quite chunky, and it actually tastes really nice served a little bit warm. Yum. Stir it through a bit, and I'm going to put the edamame in, and just some spring onions. Spring onions have just been roughly chopped. Mix it all through. Some salt and some pepper. And then the dressing, I'm just going to put some mayonnaise on. I'm not going to use a huge amount. This is Kewpie mayo, Japanese mayo. You don't want it kind of soaking in mayonnaise, just enough to coat it really. And then, and this is completely up to you as to whether or not you use it, wasabi. So this wasabi, just adding some wasabi to the mayonnaise in the salad gives it a real kick. We quite like the wasabi, so I'll put quite a bit in. And then just mix it all together. Make sure you get that wasabi broken up so someone doesn't get a mouthful of it. It'll make your eyes water. Alright, so this is just about ready to serve. So I am going to check on the chicken and grab some rice that I've pre-prepared. We're serving this tonight with koshihikari rice from Japan. And I'll come back and show you the end result. So I've got my rice and my potato salad ready to go. Here's the chicken. It smells amazing. I reduced it for probably about 7 or 8 minutes. Not a huge amount of time. It's just kind of got a nice caramelized caramelizedness to the sauce. I'm not sure if that's a word. So I'm going to pop that on the side there. And that is my dinner for this evening. So, home-style Japanese chicken with Japanese-style potato salad and rice. I hope you enjoy trying this out. This recipe looks like it might become a favourite in our house. It's super simple and pretty easy to make and doesn't take too much time. So enjoy your cooking this week, and I hope you're all staying well. Hopefully we'll get to see you soon at school. Good night.